La WWE volvió a Puerto Rico después de 15 años. 15 years since the last time WWE had a pay-per-view in Puerto Rico. 2005. It is 2023. That is a long time. If you don't know this, that you're subscribed to my channel, yo soy puertorriqueño. So I am so happy to see WWE return to my island with a pay-per-view, or how they call it, premium live events. I'll never call them that, pay-per-view. And it was just so awesome to see that. And I hope it's, there's not another 15, 16 year gap in that. I really hope so. I really hope there's not another gap like that, because the crowd was electric. The crowd was on fire. So, how was WWE's return to Puerto Rico? Why don't we find out in my review of Backlash? And thank God they got rid of the whole WrestleMania name in here. WrestleMania Backlash, that shit was stupid. We're just back to Backlash in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So the first match was Bianca Belair versus Io Sky for the Raw Women's Championship. It sounds silly because technically Bianca Belair is now a SmackDown wrestler. But whatever. That aside, how was the very first match of the pay-per-view of Backlash? How was the first match of WWE's return to Puerto Rico? This is a big deal. And if you think maybe I'm exaggerating, to me it's a big deal because, like I said, I'm from there. I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born there. So I'm just happy that they got to witness that and watch that. I don't live there anymore, but I am happy that they got to experience WWE. WWE is always a fun event to go to. I've seen a few shows live myself, and they're always fun. And the crowd, maybe it's because it's been so long, was so electric. So, like, when Bianca and Io was starting, Bianca got a pop. Like, she got a massive pop. Io got a pretty good pop, but Bianca had a bigger pop. The interesting thing was that as soon as the match started, as soon as it began, the crowd immediately turned on Bianca and was all for Io Sky the entire time. I mean, whenever they had back and forth, it was boos for Bianca and, yes, and cheers for Io Sky, which is really interesting. That was really interesting. I did not expect that. I did not see that coming. I did not think that would happen. People love Bianca, not taking anything away from Sky, but it's just, Io Sky has not been portrayed in the most dominant way with Damage Control. So it's just interesting that the crowd was so into her. And even me and my friend Jordan even just touched on the fact that they should have had done an audible, maybe have Io Sky win here, because the crowd would have gone bananas for it. The crowd was going bananas for her the entire match. So, yeah, there was a really beautiful, massive power bomb from Bianca to Sky in the top turnbuckle that was devastating. At one point, Bianca picked up Io Sky with both arms above her head, and then it transitioned it into one arm, and then dropped her. I thought Io Sky broke her neck because she almost went face first. I'm like, oh my god. And yeah, and she still kicked out, which was incredible. And the crowd was just so into the match. The match, one of the things that makes this match so good was there never really felt like a moment where one person dominated the other for an extreme amount of time. Like, a lot of times matches have one competitor dominate the other competitor for 5 minutes, and then the other competitor would now get a comeback and dominate for 4 minutes. There was nothing like that in this entire match. Like, almost the entire match was portrayed like there were equals, back and forth, reversal, 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 back and forth. And I love that. And it was a really good match. It was really fun. It was just really good. And maybe because I was not so excited for this match, because, like I said, Io Sky is not portrayed that good. For a long time, she's been portrayed as just Bailey's lackey. So to see the performance that she put out here in this match was incredible to see. And the match itself just delivered. Maybe because my expectation was kind of low. In fact, when the match was going to start, they're coming out. I'm like, this is really what we're going to start with, was my thinking. And boy, was I wrong, because the match just really delivered and the match was just great. I can't really think of anything negative about the match. It was just a good back and forth women's match for the title that it made the title feel important, because they're both out there performing and wrestling and fighting for the belt, and it was really good. And one could argue, from the way everything was portrayed, is that they are equals and they're even. Bianca can't put Io away, Io can't put Bianca away. And to the factor that we all knew was going to happen, and that's Dakota Kai and Bailey coming out, which was interesting because usually when a heel is doing heel things, the crowd would boo the heel. The crowd did not care. Like when Roman Reigns has the Usos helping him, the crowd just goes bananas booing Roman Reigns because he's doing heel things. Yet this crowd, my Puerto Rican crowd, did not give a shit about them being heels, because when Dakota Kai was kicking Bianca to try to help Io, the crowd went bananas loving it. Like, "Yeah, we don't care how it happens. Io Sky's gotta win." Like, that was the energy with the crowd. Like, they did not care how it happened. They wanted Io Sky to win. And you don't really see that too often with heels. So yeah, good job, Puerto Rico. First match, and you were loud as hell. You made me proud. You made me proud. So it was a really good match. At the end of the day, Bianca won, which is no surprise. That really shouldn't surprise anybody. But yeah, they kind of should have called an audible here, because had Io won with the way the crowd was, oh, forget it. And anyway, what does it matter if Io won, right? Because Bianca's going to SmackDown. So she's not going to take the Raw title to SmackDown. So it might as well have ended the reign actually losing, instead of doing what's probably going to be, you know, let's swap belts, right? So, yeah, it was a great match. And the way they kind of played it was that, well, Bailey maybe shouldn't have interfered, and maybe Io would have won. But, I honestly expected Bailey to turn on Io Sky in this match, but I'm surprised it didn't happen. But I guess they're gonna slowly build up to that, especially with the crowd. If the crowd keeps reacting to this way to Io Sky, they could turn Io Sky, truly just turn her face and feud against Bailey. So we'll see. The match gets on up. It was really good. I can't think of anything negative. It's just the match is just fun, good wrestling, hot crowd. The match is really good. You definitely should watch this one. Up. Then there was a little backstage segment with Rey Mysterio, Bad Bunny, and Rey Mysterio's like, "Oh, te quiero presentar un amigo, tiene un obsequio para ti." And it was Savio Vega, which the crowd, my God, went bananas. Obviously, if you watch wrestling during the Attitude Era, you know who Savio Vega is. And the crowd just lost it. It was not like there was nothing like in the segment that you go, "Holy shit," necessarily in terms of like content, but it was a good, cool return cameo, because it won't be long term, but cameo for the Puerto Rican crowd. So yeah, Savio Vega had a little backstage segment with Bad Bunny, and the crowd went bananas for it. I don't usually speak of backstage segments. I just usually stick to matches, but I felt like that was, being Savio Vega, I felt like that was important to bring up. And then we have Seth Rollins and Omos. ¿Y cómo estuvo Seth Rollins versus Omos? Bueno, mejor de lo que esperaba. So the match was better than what I expected it would be. Granted, I didn't expect anything out of this match. Love Rollins. Love Rollins. Omos, not at all. I don't like him as a wrestler. I don't like his promos. I don't like anything really about Omos. It's nothing against him personally, not at all. I just don't like him as a wrestler. I really don't. So when this match came about, I think it was like, man, this is really the best they can give Rollins. A random match in San Juan, Puerto Rico. That being said, this match, because I expected nothing out of it, being reason number one, reason number two being the crowd, my Puerto Ricans were so into it, for Rollins specifically, it made the match automatically feel better, because I expected a turd of a match. So because it's not a turd, the match felt better, and because the crowd was so into it. Like had the crowd been dead in this match would have felt shittier. If you get what I'm trying to say. And the first, I don't know, 50% of the match is just almost just destroying Rollins. As I'm here rolling my eyes, of course. Of course, the Giant's going to trash Rollins around. She's just predictable. My worry was like, man, I hope Rollins really don't lose. One, because Rollins does not deserve to lose. Two, almost. Two, because Rollins just seems to be constantly losing. He needed a victory, and I'm glad that he got one here. Not against the most profile athlete, but he got a victory regardless. So, yeah, the match was better than it had any right to be, honestly. It might be one of Amaz's most best match. Granted, his catalog of matches is not great. So, but this one is one of his best. And Rollins made him look like $1,000,000 out there and selling for him and all that. So, yeah, the mattress itself just was, typical Omos destroying Rollins. Rollins starts to take him down. Omos make a comeback. They try to make Omos look like $1,000,000 out here, like he's the strongest dude out there. As he kicked out of two back-to-back curb stomps. Two back-to-back curb stomps he kicked out of. And that's on top of the fact that the very first curb stomp Rollins went for, when Rollins ran to do it, Omos just took it and stood there firmly, so he never dropped down. He was just held in position, so Rollins cannot bring him down. Like they try to make him look so strong in this match. Oh my God! Look, Rollins is going for the curb stomp. What? He can't put him down. He's that strong. And then, oh my God, he kicked out of two curb stomps. Nobody's ever done that. You know how many people have been put away by one curb stomp? Like you could tell what they're trying to do here. That being said, it's just your typical thing. That's the problem with the match. It's just your typical thing of a Giant match. And Rollins has a sleeper on him. Oh, almost got him with a sideways slam and all that. Sideways slam. I don't even know what the fuck I said. So yeah, it was just fine. Like I said, because the crowd was so hot, mainly because of Rollins. Like if Omos would have wrestled somebody who's not a fan favorite, I don't think the crowd would have given a shit. So I guess that was a smart move. Yeah, let's book Omos versus somebody people love, so people care about the match. I guess that was smart. It was Omos' best match, but it's not something I can really say. Yeah, I'll go watch that. It was, again, because of the crowd, the match was fine. It doesn't get an up. It doesn't get a down. I'm just gonna put it right in the middle. Why? Because one, I'm glad Rollins won. Two, because the crowd was hot. Three, because the match was better than expected. Not that the match was 5 stars or anything, but it was better than I expected. Maybe because I didn't expect much. So the match is right in the middle. It was fine. I almost forgot. I was about to start talking about the next match, and I forgot. I will say, one of the other reasons the match was, fine to me and not crap or anything. There was definitely a highlight where Rollins hitting what I'm gonna call, what I think Cole called, the super curb stomp, because the way Rollins won was by curb stomping the Nigerian Giant or whatever the fuck he's called, Nigeria Giant or whatever. He curb stomped him from the top turnbuckle while he was down. So he jumped and got him with that curb stomp. Probably the sickest curb stomp he's probably ever done. So yeah, it was definitely a strong finish with that shit. So yeah, the match was fine. Then we had Austin Theory defending his United States champion against Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley in a triple threat match. I expected more out of this match. For one, I thought the match was kind of short. Like the match honestly did not feel very long. Maybe it was, and I'm wrong. But to me, the match felt like it could have gone on longer. I feel like it being triple threat, triple threats have no disqualification. I would have liked to have seen a chair or something. There was none of that either. At one point, it's just, hey, let's just destroy Bobby. Let's work together. Like, there was a few moments of, Bronson running through Theory and Bobby running through Bronson. Bronson doing a moonsault and stuff like that. Like, there was cool moments, but it expected more from the match, and the match just felt too short to me, honestly. And the ending is just fine. Bronson Reed went for the moonsault, missed. Bobby hit him with a spear, and then Austin threw Bobby outside. 1, 2, 3, theory one, because Bobby didn't make it back in time. Yeah, the match was just, I don't know. Because like the Rollins had almost won, I expected nothing. I felt like I got something, kinda. This one I expected something, and then what I got was just, I think the correct word would be underwhelming. It's not that it was bad, because it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as I thought it would be. It just felt underwhelming to me. So this match was also, in my opinion, just fine at best. It could have been better. I expected better because of the competitors. So yeah, it just matches in the middle. It was fine. I can't really say anything. Like I said, there was cool spots. At one point, Bronson Reed jumped from the ropes to the outside. Like he was outside of the ropes and jumped down on Bobby. It looked like Bobby was gonna get killed. He got crushed. Like yeah, that was good moments, but outside of that, the match just really was just it was nothing special. Underwhelming. The match was fine, right in the middle. Then we have Selena Vega contra Rhea Ripley. The crowd was electric. Selena Vega was, because of Selena Vega. But it has to be said that just like the previous match, to me, this match felt kind of short, personally. I feel like it should have gone a little longer, especially with having Selena Vega representing Puerto Rico. She should have also been kind of portrayed a little better because she had her moments here and there, but overall, this was a match kind of dominated by Rhea Ripley. Yes, it is Rhea Ripley. Yes, she should be booked that way. I agree with the booking, but because Selena Vega was the hometown hero, essentially, she should have been booked a little bit more strong, a little bit more offensive, in my opinion. Overall, the match was fine. I don't think the match was as good as Io Sky and Bianca. Personally, I don't think it was, at least not to me. But the crowd was definitely into it because of Selena Vega, who came out with a outfit of Puerto Rican inspired. There was good moments here and there. It was funny having Rhea Ripley calling the fans pendejos. That shit was pretty funny. There was a spot where Selena Vega got a chancla from her mom and threw it right at Rhea. Technically, that should have been a disqualification. Throw a weapon at her because if you are Puerto Rican, the chancla is definitely a weapon. If you're Puerto Rican, you've been whooped by a chancla at some point in your life when you were young. So yeah, that got a massive pop, and yeah, and Michael Cole said it best. If you are Puerto Rican and you were young, you know what that means. You know the symbol of that. And the match was it's again we hit a match where it was just fine. All these matches that have been fine are helped by the fact that the crowd was so into them. So it helps the match feel better than it actually might really be because the crowd's so into it. When you have an electric crowd, the matches sometimes feel better than what they really are. Like this is another match that had the crowd been dead, the match wouldn't have felt that special. But because the crowd was so active, so energetic for Selena, it helps the match feel better than what it actually really was. Rhea Ripley won. That was obvious. Just like Bianca, it's just that's a result that you expected. It is an obvious result. But the match itself again was fine. It was not bad, but again, it does not hit that this match was great thing. It was just another match that was just honestly fine. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was just fine. And then that was followed by what, in my opinion, should have been the main event of the night. Yeah, it was Benito, Bad Bunny, versus Damian Priest. I mean, you would think a match between two Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico would have main evented the show. It didn't. Okay. But this match was tons of fun. Tons of fun. So let me get something out of the way for those of you who don't know. Like I said, I am from Puerto Rico. I am Puerto Rican. I do not like Bad Bunny. I do not like Bad Bunny's music. I don't like the way he dresses. I don't like the ridiculous stuff he does, like pink armpits a few years ago, stuff like that. I don't like Benito whatsoever. That being said, I do like Bad Bunny as a wrestler. His match at WrestleMania 2 years ago was really, really good. Him and Logan Paul have set a new standard, have set the bar for what a celebrity can do in the ring. The days of celebrities just doing some dumbass shit and calling it a day, those days are behind us. The fact that Bad Bunny, like Logan Paul as well, in other occasions, is able to go out there and perform at the level that he performed in this match, his previous match, the way Logan Paul does, you gotta respect it. Like I said, I don't like him. I don't like his music. I don't like anything really about him. But him as a wrestler, his previous match, his Rumble appearance, and now this was a really fun match. Was a really good match. Damian Priest, credit to him. Big credit to him too, because he helped Bad Bunny as well in this match. Bad Bunny wouldn't look as good if his opponent didn't do, his job as well. So that being said, the match was awesome. This was a fun match. This was just incredible to watch. The crowd was electric because, of course, they were. I mean, you have Bad Bunny, who is one of the biggest stars in the world, because he is, in his hometown of Puerto Rico. What did you think? This is why it's really shocking to me that this match really did not close the show, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. Because and they marketed this match throughout the night as double main event, double main event, double main event. It shouldn't have been no double main event. It should have been the main event. The match was great. Like Bad Bunny really had a great performance, like a wrestler. Like you don't, you see him in the ring tonight. You see his match. He doesn't come across as a celebrity necessarily wrestling. He came across as a wrestler. He did good. He with the chairs and the candlesticks. I wish they would have broken a table at any point. Well, I mean, they kind of did in the crowd, but I mean, like in the ring, like a regular table, whatever. But they did have a table spot in which I thought Damian Priest killed Benito with like a choke slam right from the top of the equipment into a table in the crowd. It was sick. It was awesome. That's what I mean. The match had a lot of cool moments. Bad Bunny attacked the leg of Damien. Damien was limping around. The thing is, the match was like all over the place in terms of like storytelling in a good way. Match starts. Damien is dominating Bad Bunny because this is Damien's ring. Damien, this is what he does. But then Bad Bunny starts attacking the leg, making him weak, and then Bad Bunny's able to dominate a little bit, and then Damien recovers, and then at one point this was a complete trashing from Damian Priest to Bad Bunny. And yeah, at one point it seemed like Bad Bunny was gonna win, and the match was wild because then here comes Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio out to help, and here comes Rey Mysterio to even the odds, and that wasn't enough. And here comes Carlito, which the crowd popped big. Hell yeah, of course they did. Who doesn't like Carlito? And yeah, crowd popped big. Carlito was back. Copio Manzana, backstabbers, all that stuff. Savio Vega came out. The LWO came out. Like, I mean, this was a Hispanic party in here. It really was. And the Judgment, they just pretty much got slaughtered. Like, they honestly just got slaughtered. They should be used to it because they seem to always get slaughtered. And yeah, like it was cool. Like the crowd was so electric for all of this, right? Savio Vega, the LWO, Carlito Colon, the Bad Bunny, Damian Priest. Like this, honestly, I really don't understand why I didn't close the show. Yeah, I guess Brock, Cody. Technically, they are bigger stars in the wrestling world, yes, but the environment is the reason this match really should have closed the show, especially when the whole thing is being marketed around Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny this, Bad Bunny's on the poster, Bad Bunny's on the even on the Backlash card title. You see Bad Bunny's face, like you honestly would have just thought this would have been the main event. The match was fun. We had low blows. We had at one point Damien was begging him not to hit him, and then he kicked Bad Bunny in the face. It was a fun match, and I highly recommend you watch this match because it was great. And like I said, the standard the celebrities are now putting in the work and they're showing, gotta respect it. I don't, like I said, I don't like him whatsoever, but the work he put in, the match that he gave with Damian Priest was an awesome, phenomenal match that I highly recommend. It doesn't just get enough. I give it my heavy metal horns of awesome. I thought this was awesome. I thought it was an awesome match. The crowd was awesome. The crowd's been awesome all night. It was awesome all night. But the crowd, especially here, because of Bad Bunny, when he came out, the crowd, it was some of the loudest pops I've ever heard. Rightfully so, you know. So, yeah, match was awesome. Highly recommended. My only frustration comes from the fact that it really should have been the main event. But that's not even the matches, that's not a match issue. It's just a match placement issue. Damian Priest, honestly, respect to him as well for putting Bad Bunny over because, again, I don't like Bad Bunny, and I'm sure I would have loved for Damian to go and kill Benito, but realistically, I expected Bad Bunny to win. There was no way he was gonna lose in Puerto Rico. Like, it's not his place to lose. It just was not gonna happen. Let's be real here. If you're a wrestling fan, you know how wrestling works. And Benito, no iba a perder aquí. So, match was awesome. I highly recommend you watch it. It was great. Great match. That should have been the main event. I loved it. Tons of fun. Heavy metal horns were awesome. Good job, everybody. It was cool to see Carlito again. Hopefully, he's not a one-off. Hopefully, Carlito sticks around. He had an appearance, 2 years ago at the Rumble. Then he was a Raw, and then he disappeared again. Like, I hope Carlito sticks around. It would be cool. It was an awesome surprise to see him, and it was cool to see Savio Vega come out and trash Finn around. Again, a judgment they should be used to getting trashed around. Nothing new here. So, yeah, match gets heavy metal horns were awesome. Then we had the Usos, well, more like the Bloodline, because Solo was there, versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle. Now, why am I saying? Was this match good? Yes. Was the crowd invested? Yes. Is the storyline good? Yes. So why am I saying? Because was the crowd invested? Yes. But they were not invested anywhere close like they were in the Damian Benito street fight. And this is exactly why I was talking about the fact that match should have main evented. And the fact that this match was placed here, like it wasn't like it was the Damian match and then the Brock match. The fact that you had this match in between, it almost feels like this match was just put in here to give people a break. Which is not, which is kind of how it was used. Here's your bathroom break. Here's your break so you can relax and not yell your lungs out after what happened in the last match. That is essentially what this match was. And it bothers me that it was essentially treated like that because it's the Bloodline. The Bloodline have been essentially the biggest piece of entertainment in the WWE for the past, nearly 3 years now. So, yeah, that bothers me. The match itself was good, but again, it's just the match placement. Had this match been pre-Damian Bad Bunny, I feel like it would have been better. But because it just was not as good as the previous match, it hurts this match a bit. It was good, and the whole story of the Bloodline and Solo and Jay and all that, that's interesting. And Solo had this look of, I'm gonna kill Jay soon. But yeah, it's interesting, and the crowd was invested still. But again, not to the level of Bad Bunny and Damien. I just feel like this match would have been better. It was a good match. It gets an up, but it would have benefited better had it been pre Damien and Bad Bunny. But the match itself was good, and it will get an up. And it's interesting. The story, Roman returns from his 3-week vacation this Friday. In fact, the crowd was chanting, "We want Roman, don't we all?" The match gets an up. The Bloodline winning was honestly the right call. I mean, Kevin and Sammy already retained the titles. They already won when it mattered, when the gold was on the line. So the Bloodline needed the win here, and it's not gonna hurt the other guys right now. And right now the story is it's like teasing the breakup of the Bloodline, kind of little by little. We're getting there. So yeah, the Bloodline needed the win. And like I said, the stare down at the end of between Solo and Jay and all that, like teasing, like they're gonna fight. At one point, Jay was telling Solo, "I'm your big brother. I'm the big brother," and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, the right people won. The match was good, but it's just, man, the previous match was so good. The hype of that match was so good that this one just was not as good. If you catch what I'm saying. Then we got to the main event: Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. I didn't like this match. Okay, let's do this. So the match didn't even start. Cody was attacking Brock. I was excited. I was hyped. I'm like, holy shit, yes. He hit him with the steel steps. He fucking trashed him around. I'm like, oh yeah, I was hyped. Really hyped. I'm like, man, is he gonna like just like job Lesnar out here? Like, is he just gonna? The bell rang. He kept trashing Lesnar. I'm like, wow, I feel like if he would have jobbed out Lesnar, it would have been cooler than what we actually got, which was he trashed Lesnar in the beginning, then Lesnar trashed him, dumped him around, suplex, I don't know, 8, 9 times, whatever it was. And then at one of the suplexes, when he threw Cody back, Cody was hanging into the turnbuckle. The little pad came off, flew into the crowd. I told myself, Lesnar's going to get hit in the corner. That'll be how Cody turns it around. Guess what? Lesnar got hit in the corner. Surprisingly, got busted open. Whether that was legit or planned, who knows nowadays with this company, but blood all over the place. Lesnar looked bloodied up. I'm like, oh shit. First of all, that gave the match a cool feature. We don't see blood too often in WWE like we do in AEW. So I was like, okay, cool. Shockingly, they never stopped the match to look at him. That's why I'm like, maybe it was planned. It didn't look like it was planned. Like, he hit the turnbuckle and started bleeding. Like, at no point did it seem like he cut himself or anything like that. So who knows? But the thing was, like, and then Cody trashed him. Kick. And then hit him with his finisher, the Crossroads. And Lesnar kicked out. Eventually, Lesnar got him with the Kimura lock. Cody got a pin. While on the Kimura lock, 1, 2, 3, Cody actually won with that bullshit. Like, who did this match? How does this match help anybody? Okay, Cody got a win over Lesnar, but he didn't come out strong with the win. It's almost like a fluke win. I'm sorry, that's just not what Cody needed. Cody needed a legitimate win after losing to Roman. He got what, a flukish win? Roll up while on a submission. Lesnar, like, that's like, seriously, like that was a really whack ending to this pay-per-view. And then it's even more infuriating when, my point just stands from what I was saying earlier. The main event should have been Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. The crowd was invested, just like the previous match. But the investment of the crowd was nowhere near the investment of the crowd during the Damian Bad Bunny match whatsoever. And that's obvious. Like, you don't even need to. And that's something that they should have expected. Are Brock and Cody bigger stars than Damian and Bad Bunny in a wrestling ring? Yes. But they were in Puerto Rico in a match featuring two people who are Puerto Ricanos, who's just gonna have the crowd a lot more hyped up. You have, like, come on, like, it's not even that hard. And then you had Carlito show up, Savio Vega, DLW, and the crowd was just all over the place in excitement in that match. The last two matches, just, yeah, they were involved, but not to that level. That hurt these two matches. Had these two matches been on before that, it wouldn't have been hurt, because that's the thing. The Bad Bunny Damian match, the crowd was so invested, it kind of tired out the crowd. If they would have been the main event, it wouldn't have had happened, because hey, the match is over, your energy's done, but now you're going home. Yeah, it was a whack way to end this pay-per-view. This match, I was not a fan of it. If you like the match, man, good for you. But me, Redgrave, Brian, no. This match disappointed me. My thinking is what they did this so they could do a rematch, probably. That's what I'm thinking. And again, sure, but why did you have to end the pay per view like this? On this like little roll up from a submission? Seriously? That's just infuriating. Yeah, it just, when the match ended, I was just so bummed out. I'm like, are you kidding? I have no problem with Cody winning. Cody needed to win. Cody had to win. He needed to win. But he needed a strong win, not a flukish win. Hey, I won thanks to the fact that I paid him well in the submission. What? Man. And I was excited for this match. And it's just the way it ended. And I was excited when it started. I'm like, okay, here we go. Main event time. And the way it started with Cody attacking Brock before the match started was great. It was great. And then Cody started trashing him. I'm like, it was all great. But then it became the typical suplex, throwing him around. And, eventually Cody turns it around with the obvious turnbuckle spot. And then, man, the match had me at the highs of highs, and it brought me to the lows of lows. I don't even know what to say. Like, I can't. I get it down. I honestly did not enjoy it. I honestly did not. It's a shame. It's the only match I'm giving a down in this entire pay-per-view. And it has Brock and Cody. But because it has Brock and Cody, I expect a lot better than what we got. I expect more than what we got. We deserve more than what we got. And then close the show. Yeah, no. The main event really should have been, I'm going to keep saying it, I've said it 1,000 times already, should have been Damian, should have been Bad Bunny. That match had everything. No disqualifications. Yeah, we had cameos, appearances, LWO, fights in the crowd. Like, it had everything. This had nothing. So, it gets it down. Overall, I would say that WWE's return to Puerto Rico with Backlash was a success. I felt like Io Sky and Bianca was a really good match. There were some matches that just was not that good, but they weren't bad. Omos, Seth Rollins, Selena, Rhea, and stuff like it had matches that weren't bad, but they just weren't as good as they could have been or should have been, and stuff like that. But overall, the Damian Bad Bunny match is the match. If you want one match to watch, it would be that one. That would be the match to watch. The one I recommend. Overall, I had a good time watching WWE Backlash. Hopefully it don't take another 15, 16 years for them to return to Puerto Rico. I'll give them an up. The whole crowd was awesome. Even the last two matches were not heavily as involved as the Damian match. They were still involved. Just not as involved, but they were still there. The crowd was electric throughout the night. They were hungry for wrestling, clearly. WWE specifically, they were clearly hungry for them. The way they were reacting all night long, they don't disappoint. It's like when the UK crowd did not disappoint at the Clash of the Castle. Like, man, sometimes watching certain crowds, it's just amazing to see the way they react to everything. Some of these matches, if it would have been an episode of Raw somewhere else, the crowd probably would have been dead. But they did not disappoint. So yeah, those are my thoughts on WWE Backlash. We'll see what's next. I'm expecting Cody and Brock to rematch. The Judgment Day continues to lose. Let's see. Damian loses to Bad Bunny. Finn loses to Edge. Dominic to Ray. Rhea Ripley seems to be the only winner in that group. Man, the man can't catch a break in the Judgment Day. That's for freaking sure. The Judgment Day, a group of losers. It was a shame because the group has been entertaining these past few months. Honestly, ever since Dom joined them, the group turned it around. 'Cause they were floundering real bad in the beginning. And it's amazing that they're as popular as they are, even though they lose all the time. That's actually quite an accomplishment. So overall, Backlash was pretty good. Brian Redgrave, out.